Hello everybody, welcome back, and today we got some more Tampa Bay Buccaneers football. We sadly lost the Super Bowl. It happens quite often on this channel, whether we come up short in the championship game or in the Super Bowl. It's kind of the MO. We have won Super Bowls, okay? We're not like, we don't suck, alright? But we got to do a better job, man. So we missed the PAT, and that changed everything, and I promise you guys, the speed on those things change. Because how do you figure I go from somewhere in between 70 to 80%, 70 and 90% when it comes to accuracy, all the way down to 0 on the ones that I miss? Like, I'm telling you, the speed be changing, man. So the NFC squad did win the Pro Bowl, and Darren Busey and Drew Brees outdid Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. We outdueled them. It was a good look. We made $162 million. We took home 64.4 mil, so that is a good look if you ask me. We need to sign a new special teams coordinator. Derek Brooks, you want the job? I know you do. Can give him a 3-year deal. 3-year deal. Does he know special teams? No, but I figure let's put him on the staff, and then maybe we can promote him in a year or two, depending on how things go. Right now, our defensive coordinator you will see in a second is Hugh Douglas, who I think is a decent, coordinator for what he did. Wade Phillips obviously is a defensive-minded head coach. He is our head coach, has 1 year left on his deal. And then when it comes to our offensive coordinator, also 1 year left on his deal, talking about Greg Kubiak. And then when it comes, like I already mentioned, to defensive coordinator, that is our man, Hugh Douglas. And is Hugh Douglas the best? For the D-line, yes. Everything else, pretty average. 74 for linebackers, 64 for DB. Yeah, not the greatest. But Derek Brooks, he has no special teams, like, at all. I don't think he ever played a down to special teams in the NFL. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. So we will be changing things up for this upcoming season. We're going to increase the injuries just a little bit. Now, I did this for Madden 2008 for our Niners franchise for like 2 to 3 weeks, because what would happen is these guys would get hurt and then come back in the game, get hurt again, come back in the game, get hurt again, come back in the game. But we know that can add up, and you will have to utilize your backups, and I want to be able to utilize our whole roster, or maybe be forced to utilize our whole roster. So Klein Saucer, he is going to retire. He had an incredible season, retires as a 99 overall fullback. And then Randy Harris, he is forced to call it a career. I believe he had like a broken vertebrae, if my mind serves me correctly. He was a first pick number 14 in the draft back in 2011 out of LSU. Two-time Pro Bowler. He was very, very good at football. And then Will Shields also going to call it a career. Hoover, he's going to call it a career. Ricard, he is done as well. Donovan Darius, 36-year-old safety at 91 overall, he is going to retire. Nick Lucci, baby, he is going to call it a career as well. Donald Driver, who made it to the Pro Bowl, he's going to call it a career as well. Finishes with just under 700 receptions, 9,221 yards, and 13.1 yards per catch. That was his average. He finishes with 87 overall speed, so he could still get it done if he wants. So if he wanted to play, he probably could still play, but he doesn't want to anymore. Brandon Stokely, he's done. Brian Greasy, he is done. He made it to the Pro Bowl as well. Did not get any playing time because they only start the top 2 guys for the Pro Bowl. Tony Parrish, a Niner, he's going to retire as well. Finishes with 863 tackles, 12 sacks, and 34 interceptions. Not a bad career for him. When it comes to the quarterbacks, you also got not just Greasy, but Delhomme is also going to retire. Greasy finishes with a QB rating of 86.5, 33,198 yards passing, and 234 touchdowns thrown. And then Jake Delhomme, the homie, he is calling it a career as well. He had a QB rating of 80.3, 24,636 yards passing. Anthony Wright, he is done as well. Just under 3,000 yards for his career. QB rating of 57.9 and 17 TDs. I'm scared to see what those interceptions look like. And then Chad Hutchinson from Stanford. I believe his brother went to Michigan. He finishes with just above 3,000 yards passing and 14 TDs for his career backup, obviously. So I'm planning on signing 5 guys, and then giving the franchise tag to one person. Because again, I want to try, like, look at the salary cap. We got 100, not 100, but we got 68 million in cap room. Like, that would mean that you are going to be super active in free agency. So I want the salary cap to try to matter a little bit more. It may not take effect this time around, but as we move forward in our franchise, I want to have the contracts have a bigger impact. So we were able to sign Houston. He was a restricted free agent. I believe it was the Seahawks wanted him. We would have got a first and a third round pick for him, which I was thinking about because we gave up our first, second, and third round pick. So we won't pick until the fourth round. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy how things are working out. So he signed Woody James back as well, 84 overall tight end. So Frank Gore, he wants to get paid. He's like, yo, I deserve to be paid more. Redo my deal. It's like he could have asked nicely, Frank Gore. He's still upset because of how he was on the bench when we had Cadillac, and not just that, he was actually behind Gonzalez, so he was our third string back at one point, and he was very, very irate with us. So what I'm trying to do is get that green bar all the way up. That's something new that I'm trying to was suggested along with the injury thing to kind of just, make it a little bit harder, because your team, even though we did have a season-ending injury. And look, Frank Gore's still mad. Like, how you still mad? I made you one of the highest paid running backs in the league, man. You're only 85 overall. Gonna re-sign Greg Jones. Is he older? Yes. Does that matter to me? Absolutely not. When this deal is done, if he still wants to play till he's like 34, 36, I'll probably re-sign him then, because I love fullbacks and he's the best fullback in the NFL today. But like I was saying, when it comes to injuries, your guys hardly ever get hurt. Obviously, you're going to have some guys who are injury prone, like our man Welch was, like we thought Darren Busey was, maybe still is, especially with this new slider that I'm using. And Greg Jones loves Tampa, and Tampa Bay loves you, Greg Jones. So I just wanted to have more of an impact. Like 2K5 does it very, very well. When it comes to injuries, your guys will be banged up, and you're going to have to try and hope and pray that you got enough salary cap to sign somebody off of the street to make sure that, the job gets done and the deal gets done, right? So are we overpaying for these guys? Yes, but in actuality, probably not. It's a 5-year deal. Yes, the signing bonus is big, but it's like the total salary would be just above 10 mil per year for the best receiver in the league. Yes, he's only 91 overall, but he's the best receiver in the league. He won the freaking award for it. 402 receptions so far in his career, over 7,000 yards in his career, and 45 touchdowns in his career. My boy Spencer Schultz, he loves Tampa, but he's going to get the franchise tag, and then we'll probably work out a deal with him next season. All right, so that is the plan with Schultz. He's not going nowhere, but like I said, I'm trying to change things up, spice things up just a little bit. So that means that McFarland is gone, Phillips is gone, Bradley is gone, Nichols, our left guard Nichols, not the cornerback, he's gone. Both left guards are going to be gone. Brown is gone, Woods is gone, Smith, our center, is gone, backup center. Battle is gone. We only had him on a 2-year deal when we drafted him. Carter is gone, John Lou is gone, Justice is gone. So yeah, man, we gotta get a whole new linebacking core, which kind of sucks. Now, I'm not opposed to re-signing these guys, but I figured I would let these guys test the market. So the first pick of the draft, Tony Taylor, out of Florida State, quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Defensive end from Ole Miss, 263 pounds, is the second pick. From Maryland, Vince White, free safety, is the third pick. Then Long, outside linebacker out of Arizona, is the fourth pick. The fifth pick from San Jose State, a big left tackle, 6'6", 333. That's a big boy. 5'10", 179 is the cornerback taken at pick number 6 for the Cardinals. The Houston Texans take P.J. Johnson, pick number 7. Then they're going to come back with Washington, pick number 8. And I believe, is that our pick? I believe pick number 8 was our pick. No, I'm tripping. Wouldn't have been our pick because we freaking picked number 31 because we went to the Super Bowl. So I'm tripping. Don't worry about nothing that I'm saying. Buffalo should have our pick, and that should be pick number 31. Hanson from Duke, pick number 12, quarterback for the Detroit Lions. Defensive end out of Hawaii is going to the Tennessee Titans. How many Hawaii football players have been drafted in the first round? I don't think that has ever happened. It probably has happened, but it definitely does not happen like on a regular basis. Not even annually does that happen. But I'm gonna say that somebody from Hawaii was drafted in the first round. Maybe it's never happened, but I'm gonna just be like, I had to have somebody. Michigan State quarterback Timmerman, he's got drafted by San Diego. Right tackle goes to St. Louis. Outside linebacker goes to Philadelphia. Then you got quarterback from North Carolina going to the Dallas Cowboys. And that's not our pick, but they do get a left tackle. Left tackle going to the Buffalo Bills. Cornerback going to the Minnesota Vikings at pick 22. Pick 23, outside linebacker Champ Johnson. He's going to the Pats. This running back is going to the New York Giants out of Florida State. And then you got Bennett right there. Otis Bennett going to the Atlanta Falcons. Going to have to face him. J.J. Logan out of Washington. Cornerback going to the Jaguars. Big D tackle going to the Saints. Going to have to face him. Then we got this quarterback from Syracuse and Eddie Mose. And he is going to the Baltimore Ravens. And then there you go, left tackle. And then our pick is coming up. And who would it have been? I don't know, because I guess we would have took him. Jamal Vargas is going to the Buffalo Bills out of Georgia, and we need a left outside linebacker and a right outside linebacker. And to make things even more difficult on ourselves, as our first pick is Stanley Perez out of UCLA, pick number 21 in the 4th round. So, hey, there it is, all right? That's one of the draft picks that we got back from Buffalo. This is our original draft pick over to left guard, Caldwell from Jackson State. But to make things even harder on this, we're only going to re-sign or target 3 guys. This was something that I did do with the Niner franchise. I want to bring back to this one. It was 2 guys over there. It's 3 guys here. And their interest has to be all the way up, too. So we will be overpaying for people. But, again, you have so much cap space in these old Maddens, and even in, like, today's Maddens, that you got to try to spice it up, because the gameplay again on PS2 is fabulous. Franchise mode on the PS2 is very immersive, but the salary cap, is just not something that's very realistic, because you could have the best team in the world and have like 20 to 30 million in cap room, and it's like, nah, that's not how things actually work out. So those were our draft picks. Not bad. That tied in Alexander, 77 overall with 88 speed. We got him in the 6th round. That's a good draft pick if you ask me. So we're going at the battle. Going to bring back battle. And we, again, had to make sure that his interest level was all the way up. That's how we're doing things, man. So, yeah, 122 tackles in 2 seasons, 6 sacks. Not bad. Probably has a handful of forced fumbles as well. So I do like battle. One of the best linebackers in free agency. So why not bring him back? 84 overall, 74 tackle, 87 awareness, 82 speed, 63 strength, 86 agility. And his contract, not bad, 3 years, $11 million, a $3.7 million signing bonus. Then we went after Grant. We needed safety depth. Perez, I think, is going to be our starter, our 4th round draft pick. If Grant wins the job, I will still probably start our man Perez. But he was drafted by the Denver Broncos way back when, has 115 tackles and 2 sacks. 82 overall. He has 71 awareness, 62 catch, 89 speed. 3rd round pick. And I believe it was the Denver Broncos out of Florida back in 2011. I think everybody that I've seen is from 2011. I don't know if that's a glitch or that's actually when they were drafted. So 3 years, $6 million for him, a signing bonus of 1.7. And then Lotus Otto. He used to play for the Saints, man. He will be, I want to say, our 3rd receiver coming into camp, maybe our 4th receiver. But I'm signing him to a ridiculous deal, so most likely he's going to be our number 3 receiver. 91 receptions in his career, just over 1,000 yards, averaging 11.2 yards per catch. 99 acceleration, which I like, and he's 6'2" out of Weber State. 212, so I think he's a solid receiver. 79 overall, not lining it up, but he was a 6th round pick, and we gave him a 5-year deal. Stupid contract, very, very dumb contract, but it's only $5 million per season, basically, and yeah, it is what it is, and we know these contracts aren't guaranteed, so it really doesn't. It is not really that much. It really turns out to be a $5 million contract because, football kind of sucks for the athletes at times. So Phillips is going to be playing for the Lions. Nichols staying in the conference or in the division, going to the Saints. King Smith going to play center for the Cowboys. Kevin Jones is now in the division as he signs with the Atlanta Falcons to play running back for them. Vinatieri's still kicking, 90 overall. He's going to the Titans. Lamar Thomas, a very interesting guy here. He has 88 overall tackles, 77 overall speed, 86 agility, 90 awareness, only 73 tackles. Only 73 tackles in his career. Again, he was also picked in 2011. Fifth round pick, but 90 overall. So a good signing by Detroit. I was thinking about bringing him in, but I love Harrison, and I don't want no controversies at any position. As you see that McFarland's signed with the Giants, Cedric Benson is with the Green Bay Packers. Our left guard signs with the Houston Texans, and then Brad, he signs with the Seahawks, but then he's going to end up being a free agent again. Maybe he failed his physical. I don't know what happened, but he was signed by the Seahawks, and then he ends up getting cut later on. Steven Jackson, he's going to the Oakland Raiders. He has 88 overall speed. Obviously, he was the backup to Marshall Faulk in real life and in the beginning of this franchise. But then they signed Kevin Barlow, and he's the backup to him. So he's fresh. He's Marcus Allen fresh. Marcus Allen played running back till he was 37 years old. And I was shocked to see that number. 37 years old and still getting it done because he was really productive towards the end of his career. But he was playing fullback because Al Davis signed Bo Jackson and then Eric Dickerson and made Marcus Allen one of the best running backs of all time a fullback. And I know he played fullback at USC for a season, but geez, that's dirty. But he was fresh as heck towards the end of his career. So we did get a different center, because again, I want people to know who are backups and who are starters, but hopefully this does not come back to bite us. But Wilkinson, he is going to be our backup center coming into camp. 81 overall, 22 years of age, not bad. This 24-year-old is 78 overall. He's going to get a 2-year deal. And he's going to be our backup right tackle. We did not go after any left guards. I'm going to trust our rookies to, blossom and produce and be the people who I think that they can be. Going after this D tackle, getting his green bar all the way up before we sign him, and there you go. Still got around $30 million in cap space, but I'm telling you, I think by year 2 or 3 of doing this, the cap number is going to drop significantly. We're also going to go after Busey. Different daddies, but same mama. Yes, or maybe it's same dad, different mom. I'm not quite sure. But Busey, the quarterback, this is his long-lost brother, half-brother, whatever you want to call it. And then we're getting this other running back, a real guy, Antoine Peck. He's 75 overall. But he has 80-plus speed at age 31 years old. I was like, why not bring him in? And now look at the cap numbers dropping into the 20s. Jason Campbell, he's going to get a 2-year deal because, again, with the injury thing going up, I want to have a quarterback that I think I can trust. I was still going to have McCormick on the roster. He played pretty well for us this past season, but I want somebody that can run, and Jason Campbell is the fastest guy available, and he's Jason Campbell, quarterback that we know. So we're going to be trading Mays and Anderson to the Houston Texans to get a 5th and 6th round pick, because again, I'm thinking about the future. Draft picks are going to come more and more valuable to just add to your roster on a dime, on a coupon basis. You know what I'm saying? Very, very cheap, very, very frugal, if you ask me. So yes, 5th and 6th round picks I will value, because this guy right here, Alexander, he's a 6th round pick. He has 88 overall speed, and he did not drop a single pass. But then to my surprise, he only has 69 overall catching. So we're going to bump that up. And now he's a 79 overall tight end who we drafted in the 6th round. Absolutely filthy. Frank Gore and I were struggling. Frank Gore doesn't want to be here. Now, I did check, and his morale is in the green. But he's still talking about, if you're hearing grumbles, that's me. And again, it stems from the time that he was really mad. He was a locker room cancer for a second when he was a 3rd-string running back. So hopefully we can get him right and get him going in the right direction as far as his attitude is concerned. Houston is that guy. He's a speed guy. He looks like a defensive tackle, but he's a defensive end, and he's a speed guy, like I said. So we're going to bump up that strength just a little bit, maybe help him stop the run. He's a fantastic defensive end. Just his acceleration is already above average for his position. We could have tried to get it up even higher, but why not work on a weakness? Don't always want to work on your strengths, but work on your weaknesses to get even better at what it is you already do well. You feel me? Kwame Bennett, I think we missed them in the Super Bowl, man. That receiver was beating us deep. Kwame might have got beat too. Don't get it twisted, but with his height, he might have been able to defend the ball a little bit better than Nichols did in Stanford route. And Stanford route would not have been out there if Bennett would have been playing. You feel me? So Carter, we're going to work with him. He will be our starting outside linebacker. It's going to be him, Battle, and Harrison. Those are going to be our starting linebackers. Quarterback, Darren Busey, MVP. He still has things to work on. He is still in the lab. He is still trying to work on his craft like any professional should be. You feel me? He gets gold because why wouldn't he get gold? And we're going to bump up his awareness this time because I want that vision cone to be stupid big. It doesn't matter your accuracy. Your awareness determines how big the vision cone is. So Jason Campbell is going to be our second string quarterback. Frank Gore is our starter. We paid him all that money, and we already know that he has an attitude problem. He's our starter. Kozlowski is not going to be Smith. I do like Smith, but I want to give Webster another chance at second string, and I want to see what Otto can give us as a 6'2" slot receiver, kind of like a tight end de facto. Smith is still solid, but I want to test these guys out. This tight end group, though, I'm loving the tight end group. Nothing too crazy as far as overalls, but 84 speed, 85 speed, 88 speed, respectfully. We already know what Woody James gave us. James Crane had a solid season, and now I want to see what Alexander can do. As you see, Mike Williams, all right, tackle. He's out for the first 2 weeks. So that definitely sucks, and we're going to have to hopefully not address that position moving forward. I mean, it's not like it's a problem for us. We have money to blow, but you don't want to see one of your prized possessions to be out. All right, so right outside linebacker is probably going to be a little bit of a concern. Cornerback, we're going to give these guys another year. Bridges on the outside, Bennett on the outside, Nichols in the slot. Schultz, he's playing for a contract, but he's not. He's going to be a Buck for life if it's on me, and as long as he doesn't dip too far as his overall is concerned. When it comes to strong safety, Perez will be our starter, like I already mentioned. Webster is going to be bringing back kicks for us and punch for us. Long snapper is Williams. And then third down back, I was looking for someone that had great hands. All their hands are pretty much the same. Frank Gore is the best out of the bunch, so I figure, actually it's Liddell Best at 68 overall, but when it comes to pass protection, Frank Gore is better than Liddell Betts, so I was like, well, let's try to protect Busey as much as possible because we know that, we're going to have to try to protect him because of the new sliders that we are using, at least for the injuries. And I only bumped it up 5 because I don't have the number by it. I always go by 5s. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. If I need to bump it up again, I'll do that. If I need to bring it back down, I'll do that. And I can bring it back down by 1s or 2s or whatever. But going forward, it's always like 5s. 5 and then 10 just so I can keep track of it and not get too confused in case I created a slider set. That's just stupid. Anyways, though, that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Our first game is going to be versus the Bucs. No, we are the Bucs versus the Giants. Hope that the rest of the day is the best of your day. Peace, love. Hot sauce.